This video is sponsored by Grammarly.
Interesting.
Hi guys! Welcome back to another school tips video, and if you guys are like me who easily panics and gets anxious about my responsibilities, then this is the video for you. That's why I actually really try to get organized and stay on top of my tasks, not because I love studying, but because I easily panic. So today I'll be sharing a few tips that has helped me get through college about time management, because I'm a college senior now, if you guys didn't know. So I'm pretty old and hopefully I have some wisdom to share with you guys. Before we continue, I actually have 3 main systems that has helped me with my time management. First is Notion. Of course, you guys know me. I'm a Notion addict since last year. Second is my Google Calendar for all my deadlines for school, work, and leisure. And lastly, my planner or journal. I also have a tour for that, which I use for my to-do list every day. I also use some apps or extensions from time to time. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so first, this sounds corny, but advanced planning has helped me feel less anxious about the many things I have to juggle. Because I try to do this before a new week starts, so like at Sunday or Saturday, and before I start a new day. So like in the mornings, I take out my planner before I start doing requirements. I just list down all the things, meetings, events, deadlines, and tasks I have to do for the week or day. And while jotting them down on my planner or to-do list, I usually look at my Google Calendar or school page on Notion to help me figure out what task I should finish first based on their due dates and urgency. Planning also allows me to dedicate specific days for specific tasks. Like Wednesdays to Fridays, I usually dedicate it to editing and posting my videos. And overall, it gives me an idea which days I'm busy or which days I'm more free to relax. This assures me that I'm not entering a new week or day lost about what I need to do. It also helps me prepare myself mentally on what's about to come in the next week so that I'm not surprised by anything and I know I'm not missing anything. The next one is in relation to the previous one, which is to categorize your tasks and deadlines. I do this for both my planner and calendar. Personally, I divide mine into 3 main responsibilities or areas of my life, which is work, aka YouTube, my internship, and org work for school. And then uni, aka my classes, and lastly, some leisure or personal stuff like doing laundry or catching up on my journal, or even just reminding myself to read a book. I recommend you do this if you really have a lot of different commitments to juggle all at once so that your to-do list or calendar isn't messy. I also have the same 3 categories on my Google Calendar, and I even color-code it so it's not too messy. And when things get super busy like finals week, I like that you have an option to just hide the deadlines from the other category so you can see clearly your deadlines for a certain area in your life. I color-code it based on the category and also based on the class I'm taking, especially for school because I'm taking a lot of classes all at once. I've been doing this for almost a year and it's helped me so much in creating a balance in my agenda so that a day isn't just all about doing school requirements, but I can also do stuff for extracurriculars or some personal leisure time. Like when my to-do list is empty for work, like I just feel weird, like am I missing something? And then I force myself to remember if I do need anything for it, then I actually do. So good job, me. Next is time blocking. I honestly found it kind of weird at first and didn't want to try it, but it really helped me get my life together once I did. You can use anything for this, your planner or an app or any place you put your to-do list in. I'll just flash on the screen some different methods I've tried over the past few months, but my favorite one was the Sticky Notes and Reminders app on Apple. It was just a simple to-do list with a specific time beside it, and it was so satisfying to cross it off once I'm finished with it. But recently, since I'm not taking any classes at the moment, I just divide my to-do list on my planner by morning or evening. And this comes in handy when I'm struggling to follow the to-do list I made for the day because it forces me to focus on one thing at a time. And it also assures me that there's enough time throughout the day for me to actually finish my tasks. and so it makes me less anxious. Personally, I know I'm really slow in writing papers, so I set around 1 to 2 hours just making a draft or outline for it. And so please do make your list realistic and actually based on your work style. Like make a schedule around the time you are most productive and can work. I'm a morning person, so I put more to-do lists in the morning and afternoon. Then I know by 5 to 8 p.m. I start to slow down and get tired, so I block it as a break time. And speaking of that, please set aside time for yourself as well in your schedule to avoid burnout. I've utilized Google Calendar for time blocking my personal stuff. I like it because it notifies me and I can actually see it along with my deadlines for school and work, so that way it sort of makes it a final thing in my schedule. But this changes a lot. Like right now, I placed my morning routine, lunch break, and end of a work day. But last semester, I was really struggling, so I would really block out 6 to 9 p.m. to just bathe, eat dinner, and relax so that I'm recharged to go back and start suffering again, finishing my school requirements. Yay! So take planned breaks as well, please. Don't work all the time. Next is to work smart, not hard, meaning to work efficiently and not put way too much time or effort into just one task when I could do less and get help from external sources but still perform well. Like taking notes on every single thing and every single subject, I stopped doing that. Now I'll just take notes on topics I like or I think I'll use in the future. Or doing a reading and reading word per word. Instead, I get the main idea and just skim through or even skip the parts irrelevant from the module topic. And in this case, Grammarly is a must-have for students, especially in online school. It's a digital writing assistant that lets you save time when making your papers and simultaneously improve your writing. It's free to download and easily accessible on your browser like Safari, Firefox, Chrome, etc. I write all my papers on Google Docs, so I love how when I'm writing, it's at the corner, already giving me suggestions on how to improve my sentences with its many free features, so that way I'm able to save money and time. Grammarly is an all-in-one writing tool that helps you succeed by improving your productivity when completing assignments. You guys can set writing goals so that your paper has the right tone for the right audience, like if it's a normal class essay or an academic paper, then it will give suggestions based on that on your structure, grammar, and clarity. Plus, their synonyms feature prevents you from overusing the same words and removes the hassle of going to external sites. And lastly, their app gives you an overall report of your paper, like with their free word count feature, and even gives you a score. Grammarly's suggestions and reports are so in-depth, from the word count, readability, and vocabulary of your paper. That's my favorite thing actually about Grammarly, is that it really gives that assurance that my paper is good to go and of quality. Sometimes I really just don't know when to let go of a paper and click submit, because I'm really not the best writer or English speaker. And with back to school season coming, make sure you're prepared with tools like Grammarly. You can go to grammarly.com/alyanna to sign up for a free account, and if you'd like to get extra features, upgrade to Grammarly Premium for 20% off to help you save time and work more efficiently. Next is Apple Screen Time and App Limit features has also been a lifesaver and enemy of mine. On my phone, I place the biggest size of the Screen Time widget for me to see. It makes me guilty and also annoyed at the same time, because I really see how many hours I've spent on my phone and I've spent on a specific app. So you can limit your time on each app on the settings, and I place different limits per app every day depending on how addicted I am to it before. Once I exceed it, it stops my whole screen to notify me and also gives me a 5-minute notification before the limit ends. And I started doing this because one time I'd really spend 4 to 6 hours a day on TikTok, and I wanted to stop that. And I got to control myself for a while, but right now, this week, I've been so addicted again to TikTok. I'm so sorry, but it's okay, guys. Sometimes this technique works and sometimes it doesn't. So, and speaking of time limits, the Pomodoro method often works for me. This is where you set a certain amount of time to grind on schoolwork, and then afterwards you can take a short break so that you guys don't get burnout. There are many ways to do this. You guys can use a physical timer or a browser extension or a separate app on your phone or laptop. I'll just put here on the screen the ones I've used and liked myself. For me, I usually do 2 intervals with either 45 minutes work and 5 minutes rest, or 15 minutes work and 5 minutes rest, and another 15 minutes, depending on how long the task takes to finish. And it kind of makes it like a competition between me and the timer on who will finish first, and personally, this motivates me to work harder. It also makes me aware of how long I take in finishing a requirement, because sometimes I really keep getting distracted by my phone or other sites without realizing I've already been on the same task for the past 2 hours with little to no progress. Then, in relation and also complementary to the previous one, it's helpful to have some sort of reward system when doing the Pomodoro method so that you're actually motivated to do the work. It spices things up so that it's not just a boring and short break wherein you don't get anything in return after working so hard. And it might be hard to do at first to control yourself, but something about the reward system just makes the thing I've been craving even more satisfying and rewarding. And I feel like I actually deserve to do it rather than feeling like I'm just using it to cram a task. I'm actually really lazy and just want to read and watch the whole day, but I also have a lot of other responsibilities I can't ignore. So I'm always in the mindset of, if I finish this, then I can finally do this thing for myself. Or this only takes 5 minutes or less than an hour. I'll just do it now so I can relax for the rest of the night. Because I really just want to get it over with and out of the way so it's not lingering at the back of my head, which actually even makes me more stressed. And my rewards are usually just something simple like continue reading this book or fanfic I've been obsessed with, watch 10 minutes of my current favorite anime or K-drama, finally going downstairs to eat and cuddle with my dog, or just take a bath after a long day of working. Now, personally, I like to start my assignments early on as well and to work in sections. For most of my requirements, especially if it's a big one that I'm too scared of starting, I like to divide it into different subtasks so that it's easier to accomplish without getting burnt out. Like if I have a paper or presentation due on Friday, on Monday, I'll start brain dumping ideas or making a rough outline of my main points. Then from Tuesday to Wednesday, I'll be writing the actual content. On Thursday to Friday, I'll continue writing it, but I'll also be finalizing it, like proofreading and reading it again if it makes sense, or practicing on how to present it. This takes off the pressure of finishing everything at one go and making it all perfect, because it's really draining to keep working on the same task continuously for hours. This is like baby steps towards your goal and setting goals every time you work on a task. I also like working on a deadline in advance. No, I'm not a nerd, but I do this especially during a day or week when I'm more free in terms of my responsibilities. I usually get motivated to do this when it's 2 to 3 weeks before finals, just to lessen the load I have to deal with later on when it's actually finals week, because a lot of deadlines tend to overlap. While my friends are dying, I'm also dying, but also I don't have as much tasks I need to finish if I hadn't done my work in advance. So yay! Now, for number 9, having accountability buddies can also help motivate you. You don't even have to be official accountability buddies. Just have like 1 to 2 or 3 friends you always talk to every day, and the ones you know will make you productive or motivated. For example, last semester, I had 2 close friends where we always asked and updated each other about our agendas or to-do list for the day, because it kind of gives us a motivation to also start on our tasks early on. And we're classmates most of the time, so our deadlines and requirements tend to be similar, and this helped me stay on top of what I needed to do. And if I forget to add something to my agenda, I usually look at my friends and copy their schedule. So it's like we're doing requirements together in the library. And lastly, this is so corny but also a weird time management advice, but please remember to rest your eyes or take a power nap. We can't be grinding on work 24/7 or looking at our screens. Personally, I have a hard time taking actual long naps because my body doesn't want to. I don't know. But 10 to 15 minute power naps usually work for me, and I feel much better and refreshed every single time. Because my eyes and legs tend to really get strained, and resting even just for a bit can actually give you so much more productivity later on than working slowly because you're forcing yourself to be productive and work on a task when you really can't do it. And it feels like it's gonna eat up our time to finish our requirements, but sometimes we really do need just that short 10-minute rest. And that's it. No one's going to listen to this outro anyways, so goodbye and thanks for watching.